Hello, welcome to Loot Level Chat, the podcast from Loot Level Chill. I'm Mick Fraser, and I'm joined by Steve Chambers.
Hey there.
Lyle Pendle.
What up?
Got it right first time. And Kieran Singh.
Hello.
Hello, how is everybody?
Yeah, grand man. Nice to be back again.
Yeah, you're off, weren't you? Were you off the week
I had to
before
go
as
and
well?
do parenty stuff, man. Parents' evening things.
Yeah, sucks.
All that's exciting stuff you do in middle age, you know.
No.
Not if you don't have any kids, you don't.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there is that, yeah.
I know which one I'd rather be right now. I shouldn't say
Yes.
that. I shouldn't say that.
And that's now on permanent record.
I love my kids,
Yeah.
I just hate parents evenings.
Yeah. That does seem like it would be specifically very shit. Like,
Well, look, this is the things they don't tell you. Everyone tells you about, like, oh, changing nappies is bad, or wait till they grow up, or whatever the nonsense, like the cliches people say. Well, they don't list the boring shit stuff you have to do that would block people off. Like,
making pack-ups every day.
yeah, like, you know, yeah, babies are cute, but have you ever been to a parents' evening? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
hear you,
like,
man.
you know, or had a 12-year-old cough every time you try and do a podcast for the entire duration of it.
I don't think that one's relatable for you.
No,
though, Nick. I think
maybe
you
it's
put
not
that one out.
relatable for
Niche
everybody.
problem.
I'll stick to warning people about parents' evenings. Anyway, the joys of parenthood. That's not what we're here for. We're here to talk about the joys of gaming. That's what we talk about. That's what we do. So we've got some games to talk about. We've got because we have had a couple of big ones. I was thinking because originally I was going to talk about Greedfall 2 because that's just been out, but I haven't really got anything interesting to say about it. Really, like it's if you liked Greedfall, you know, it's worth checking out. Read the review on the website. I didn't give it a great score. I didn't think it was brilliant, but it's not bad. But much more interesting is I've been playing Monster Hunter Stories 3, Twisted Reflection, and Lyle has been playing Pokopia. Pokopia?
Kieran's been playing.
Oh, sorry.
Even I cracked and picked it up as well.
Apologies.
Yeah,
I figured
I've played a
Pokemon,
bit
it was
too,
Lyle.
but-
It was a Lyle game. Sorry,
Yeah.
I do apologise. Yeah,
Right.
so we've got Monster Hunter, Pokopia, and because that's sort of the theme this week, we're going to have a little chat about sort of gaming spin-offs as well. So that's the itinerary, and I'm going to be sipping tea until this is run out. There's only a few sips left, so if you don't like the sound of that, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kieran, you go first, mate. So let's tell me all about Pokopia because, again, I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, Pokopia in a nutshell is basically Dragon Quest builders, but with Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like I think that's like the elevator pitch for it.
Sounds shit.
Just like Dragon Quest Builders is an excellent game and the only Dragon Quest game worth playing. Pokopia.
Yeah,
Lyle's really
face
good.
dropped a shade or two. Then.
Yeah, it's a big bold claim there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is basically that type of game. It's like a crafty. You get dropped into this like blocky world, and you make friends with Pokemon, and you build a little town for them, and you do quests for Professor Tangrowth, who is some sort of old man Pokemon. I'm not quite sure what he is. Is Tangrowth a Pokemon, Lyle?
Tangrowth is a Pokemon, yes. So
Right.
Lyle, why has he got a CD strapped to his head?
I don't know. I mean, CDs in Pokemon are generally TMs, so where they teach them moves. But I think it's just to make him look a bit more
because he has got one
professory.
just stuck on the top of his head like a little antennae, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he's got a load of shit in a basket at the start of the game, hasn't he? He's just got like loads of human stuff. Like
So, like,
not feces.
not feces, no.
There might be at the bottom.
as someone
Maybe,
who's somebody who's not particularly knowledgeable about Pokemon in general, like last week's bonus pod was about as close as I've got to knowing more than.
Yeah.
But like, so there's Pokemon that can talk and become professors.
Generally speaking, no, but Pokemon in like spin-off games can usually talk to each other as opposed to in like a human language. But in this game, you don't play as a human, you play as a Ditto, which is like a shape-shifting Pokemon, for want of a better explanation.
Because I thought if they can like talk and have careers, that kind of throws a new shade on you, sort of using them to fight to the death in arenas.
Yeah, but instead
them forever in a little colourful ball. And
As you've cut off his lecturing career short.
But we can't understand them, so realistically, we're just like, oh, it's fine. It's making stupid noises. Fight that thing, you dick.
Fair enough.
Yeah, in Pokopia, that all the humans are gone. So like the world's in like it's all dusty and barren, and there's like remnants of society. So there's like broken down old Pokemon centers and like remnants of houses and things. But all that's left really is Pokemon. And like Lyle said, you play as Ditto, which I think is like a genius. Like that's such a clever thing to do, or such a fun thing to do, because the way they've animated the Ditto person is so fun. Like he's got this really weird, like gangly walk, like he's not supposed to be walking like that, but he's having to force himself to because he's in this shape. And then he's got that stupid smile on his face, which I just love. I think the design of the main character is just amazing.
Have you done the thing where you spin really fast and your arms sort of like tuck round yourself and just sort of get stuck?
No, but I will be shortly.
Yes.
And even stuff like when you go under like small crevices, like he just shrinks down into his little Ditto form. I think, I love that. I think it's really good. So you get dropped in this world and you have to bring life back to it, I guess, or bring Pokemon back to it. So you start off by making friends with the starter 3 from the original Pokemon, which are obviously the best starters. And then they teach you like we all know it. But they teach you like moves. So
yeah, true.
You learn stuff like like water gun for spraying water onto the ground, and then that grows grass. Or you learn vine whip to pull to take like flat land and pull grass onto it, and that's how you build habitats. How you start building habitats for other Pokemon. So if you string together like 4 blocks of tall grass, that becomes a habitat. And after like 15-20 minutes, some Pokemon might appear there, or a Pokemon might appear there and join your community, basically. You basically carry on like that. It's the format wise, it is basically the same as Dragon Quest Builders in my mind. It's very similar with
it's sort of the same sort of arranging blocks into the right shapes so that then something happens. And in this case, it's more you'll get a new Pokemon friend than some person will appear. But
because that was rooms, wasn't it?
You can be quite freeform with it as well, though, can't you? In a kind of Minecraft-esque, like if you want to go around and demolish a whole area, then to just rebuild it into whatever you want. You've got the freedom to do that. Although you've got these kind of semi-prefabbed areas that will suggest continue a road this way or build in this area. You could just essentially nuke the lot, couldn't you, and just do what you want, build a giant tower of mud should the mood take.
Yeah, and that's why I like it so much.
It's a nice little blend of like the Animal Crossing community vibes with Minecraft freedom, or at least from what I've experienced so far. I mean, I've probably done, I guess, 5-ish hours so far, something like that.
I've done less than that.
It was one of those games.
So it's blocky. You said it's like a blocky one. Minecrafty looking.
Yeah, so you can take the different block types, be they like stone paving or mud or sand, and obviously just repurpose them wherever you want to go. So you've got that freedom of experimentation and just, creativeness. It's great. It was one of those ones I wasn't sure how, because I'm like you, Mick, I don't have a vast history with Pokemon as far as it goes. I've played a couple of games for a bit each. I've never gone through a whole one, but I got caught up in the hype and thought I need to give this a go because I do love Minecraft and I do love Animal Crossing, and I didn't know if it was one that I would bounce off of just because it is so obviously heavily Pokemon. But that hasn't really mattered to me so far. Like I guess if you're heavily into Pokemon, such as you are, Lyle, you're seeing everything there and just thinking, oh, this is great references to X, Y, Z, whatever it might be. Whereas for me, I'm just enjoying the creative factor and exploring around and just treating it like that kind of game anyway. The fact it's Pokemon themed is neither here nor there to me.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a thing where, as I've played, I've been like, oh, wasn't expecting to see that Pokemon. That's cute. That's exciting. Like different references to, like you rebuild Pokemon centers and stuff like that. So that's, it's all in-world stuff, but at the same time, it doesn't really require that because it's essentially a cozy, buildy game that happens to have, a certain brand of cute creature in it.
Yeah.
I was also kind of worried in terms of like, for me, I'm the opposite end of Steve in that I don't care about Minecraft and I don't care about Animal Crossing, but I like Pokemon. So I was sort of entirely came in at opposite end, but if upon seeing like, I literally watched like a stream of someone playing it for like all of 30 minutes, and I was like, oh, it's just Dragon Quest builders, and I like Dragon Quest builders, and yeah, it's been good so far for me anyway.
It's got that right balance, I think, because I like Pokemon to a point, and I like the idea of Minecraft, but I'm not creative enough to
for sure
to start from scratch basically, and with no sort of direction, and then build stuff. Whereas what I like about Dragon Quest Builders and Pokopia is that you've got that constant stream of quests that introduce you to new things, and they have you building stuff, so you're constantly building like habitats for new Pokemon, but you don't really have to think too hard about what they are or where you place them. So mine are all basically in like in a single area on that first starting map. I didn't put anyone else anywhere else other than that.
You're just jamming them all into one big holding cell then initially.
I'm making like a shanty town for Pokemon.
Nice.
Great.
that can just be your creative theme from now on then, the giant Pokemon jail. Just go for that.
Well, yeah, and I always think that what I want to do is I want to get to the point where I've unlocked everything in terms of abilities, because you get, I think there's a good handful of abilities, isn't there, on the wheel that you unlock. They cover farming, they cover landscaping or terraforming, or whatever you want to call it. There's quite a lot to it, but I want to unlock everything before I start to actually spend some time making something that looks halfway decent. Because I've seen some people on Twitter, and within like 6 hours of the game coming out, they've got like these immaculate cityscapes that are just like perfect. I just don't know how they do it. I even with all the time in the world, I cannot get that good at these games. I don't know how they do it, but
see, I know in terms of the ability thing as well, because it's one of those things that feels like you'll spend an absolute age perfecting an area through the base abilities. Then later on you realise, oh, I could have done that in a tenth of the time had I just waited a bit longer to get X.
There's a guy that's done it. He's been watering the entire first area to turn it green. So when you water like barren cubes of dirt, they become grassy. When you do it, you spray it in like a cross formation, like a plus sign. So it takes ages to do anything.
It's not very big, is it? It only covers a little bit.
No, and it's quite like, because of the shape it is, it's a bit awkward as well, I find. You can't just do like a block of 9 and then move on. But I saw a guy, he spent like 4.5 hours trying to get as much of that first world done as possible.
That is some dedication, right?
Like an hour later, if he'd waited an hour, he would have done a quest which makes it rain and would have just done it all in one go.
Oh, brutal.
I find it fascinating when you guys, particularly, because I often feel like the odd duck, like unless Whitey's about somewhere, because usually he's got my back with this stuff. Because I always listen to you guys talk about games like this, and I'm always like, I don't get it. Like I can't do. I don't even really do cozy very often, but like. When you've got something where you can spend like 5 hours doing something, and then the next quest is like, and you kind of wish that somebody in the game would say, I mean, or you had
just hold off for 10 minutes.
I mean, maybe it's his own fault being impatient, and trying to.
But then the act of doing that
could
just be, it's almost like a relaxation or meditation method. Just going around and doing it meticulously bit by bit. Maybe that's just his jam and it's the way he relaxes.
It's a slower version of power washing. You're just doing little crosses of water on little cubes, I
mean, I do get the appeal of like because I played Animal Crossing in lockdown, like the entire world played Animal Crossing in lockdown. So like, I understand like the appeal of it to a certain extent, but I think this is like a game that's a combination of games that I wouldn't play on their own. Let alone like mash
slamming them all together.
Yeah. But I understand that.
I did wonder about this in terms of coming out versus say like an Animal Crossing, because that had a sequence of events when it came out that made it do the numbers it did. That sold. I mean, was it something like 15 million? I think something like that, because it came out right at the start of a global pandemic.
Yeah, it was people who would have never normally played that game, like myself. Like my entire family was playing it for the.
So I wonder what the expectations are on this, given how well that did, because they're not thinking the situation it came out in, not so much as because of the game. I wonder how those expectations are being tempered by Nintendo.
I don't think they had any. I don't think they had.
It's just me pondering when I'm at work.
I think they've underestimated massively how popular this is based on a few things that I've read.
I mean,
there's been
Pokemon is
like
fucking...
I mean, that's true for certain, yeah. And then you've also got like, I think in general, like there's been loads of things about like physical copies not meeting
Sold
demand
out,
and having to put like prices up because there's just not enough physical.
I was listening to a podcast earlier. It was Windbreaker actually. I will say it was, and during the actual podcast, like the producer who sits at the back, like behind the scenes and stuff. It was like the price had gone up on like Amazon of physical copies because they'd sold out. So Amazon are like whack a tenner on it.
Take advantage of the situation.
And it's really predatory. But I was reading that like there's a crazy shortage of like physical copies because it's Pokemon and it's different. It's new. Like anytime Pokemon does something different. But you know, sometimes when you get like a spin-off, which we'll talk about, obviously, when you get a spin-off of any normal game, like anything, there's always a little bit of, well, which way they're going to go. What Pokemon just seems like any new Pokemon spin-off just gets Pokemon fans like rabid for like, do you know what I mean? And it doesn't even necessarily have to bring new people in because Pokemon has got such a massive fan base anyway. And then word of mouth like does so much work for it. It's not like it never seems like anybody's taken a risk with Pokemon. I mean, we said it last week. Like even the amount of effort they often put into.
Yeah.
Is this the Pokemon company, or is it by somebody else?
I don't know. Actually,
license.
I know it's. Is it not the Dragon Quest builders people who have made this?
I thought it was.
It's at least some of the devs from that team, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, if they're so closely linked, it'd have to be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it does feel like it should be. I was pretty sure. I've not really looked into it for certain, but I think what has surprised me about the reception to Pokopia is like it was something where like it's literally one of the highest rated Pokemon games, like review score wise ever. So like I think that alone, alongside it being like a code game and the sort of vibes that a lot of also very not Pokemon fans necessarily would be into, is like I kind of think it is hitting a lot of different targets all at once, and I think it seems to be being very successful because of that. Because I really wasn't sure what I'd think of it as a, I don't mind cozy games, but it's not necessarily my like immediate thing to jump on, and it just seems to blend everything so well. Like it has all the right amounts of like, you're not just having to do something for the sake of it. It's not like you make your own fun. It's got objectives upon objectives that you can very easily stack up and work towards.
Oh, before you know it, you've dipped in for 10 minutes and lost 3 hours.
Exactly.
It's so easy to do that with this because like you say, you'll get this chain of like, I'll just do that little bit. Or I've opened this. Oh, here's a new habitat. He can. Oh my god, there you go. That's a day gone.
It's so dense. Like it is it's unfathomably dense even from just playing a little bit, and then I just hear everyone else saying like, how big is this game? And it's like, yeah, you could spend a long fucking time on this.
And this is a Switch exclusive, I presume. This is a
I think it's
Switch 2 exclusive. Yeah.
Is it Switch 2 or Switch 2? Just Switch 2.
Just Switch 2.
Oh well, dang! I can't play it anyway.
You tried.
I was about to pay a scalper £600 for a physical copy as well. So they missed out on that.
Got it.
But no, it does sound. I from an outside, it does sound interesting.
It's the potential of it as well, because obviously it's so huge from the off, and they're already rolling out events where you're going to get limited time Pokemon in there as well. So the potential they've got to support this over the next few years is just massive. And
presumably people are going to be building like ungodly things.
Oh yeah,
in the game.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, because I presume there's like a build system that is sort of just goes on and on and on, and people are
just keep doing what you want with it.
Because that's one of the most interesting things about Minecraft. I don't play Minecraft. My kids play it, and like they'll show, like sometimes my lad will like, Dad, come and look at this that I've built, and I'm looking at it thinking, fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? Like this kid's like 13, and it's like this. He's built a castle, or like I'm like standing there going, and then like I watch him, and I can't fathom it. Like I would. I'm a gamer. Like it's all the same language, but like because I've never played it, I'm always like, and then it boggles my mind when I watch like people on YouTube or things like that, and they're building these things out of there was a guy I used to work with who built like an insane like city. It was like him and two of the other guys that worked there, and they were like, look at this, and they showed me this city they'd built, and I was just like, how do you do, like, I'm like one block on top of the other block. I've made a tower of blocks, and then I'm done. And like I'll go and put like Diablo 4 back on or something. But like it does impress me, some of the things people come out with, and I guess if like Pokemon or Pokopia has got that sort of breadth.
Yeah, because if you've got the potential to basically level the map and then rebuild everything, God knows what people are going to be building over the next 12, 18 months when they're replicating like, bits from like Game of Thrones and remaking that stuff in there instead. It's going to be mad.
Game of Thrones with Pokemon.
I will put money on it now. It's come back in a year and I'm going to say that will exist. That will be a thing.
I want to see a Mad Max themed world with Pokemon.
It kind of looked like that when you first go in because everything's
actually
Okay.
wrecked.
Well, fair enough. Pokopia.
Yeah, that's a bit of Pokopia for you.
Review coming soon.
Coming
possibly out actually by the time.
I would imagine it's because if we're not past embargo, we're in trouble. So I'm pretty sure the review should be up on Loot Level Chill by Kieran, not Lyle.
True, very true. Kieran getting his first Pokemon review in.
You hear Pokemon, you think Lyle. I assumed
they do go hand in hand.
I just assumed
he did offer it to me before anyone else, and I was like, I think you're the cozy guy. This makes more sense for you. And then I bought it myself like a fucking idiot when I could have got it for free.
Yeah, it's frustrating sometimes, isn't it? But then sometimes you just want the game and you don't want to have to review it. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's just fun to be able to sit, and even if you have to pay for it to do so, it's like nice to sit and play a game.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so one spin off to another, because I've been playing Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection, which I'm not calling it that anymore. I'm just going to call it either Monster Hunter Stories 3 or Twisted Reflection, or I might even say MHST 3. I don't know why they shorten it to MHST and not MHS. I always say MHST. Maybe that's me. But yeah, so anybody played this series?
I've touched upon maybe a couple of hours of it, trying out both 1 and 2, but I've never really enjoyed my time with it that much, I'll be honest.
See, I played 2 and thought it was really good. I didn't finish it, but I played like a good amount of 2.
So I came into the series at 2. I never played the first one. I reviewed Wings of Ruin, which is the second one. And then when they released both on PS5 last year, I played the first one. And this is a series that kind of like it almost grows up. Like the first one was quite sorry, excuse me, a real chest today. The first one was really quite kiddified. Like the characters were all like kids and really cartoony and like I'm pretty sure if I recall, like the village at the beginning gets annihilated by like a Naga cougar and someone gets buried under rubble and stuff, but it's still like really cartoony and pleasant while this is all happening.
Cutesy vibes, but death.
Yeah, and then the second one had a bit more of like the main characters are kind of like young teenagers, so like they've grown up, and then like in this one you're like a young adult, so they keep getting older. So I presume we'll be full adults in Monster Hunter Stories 4, whatever that is.
And then in 5 it'll be like pensioners.
Yeah,
which will be interesting.
Kicking around. But this is a spin-off that shouldn't work. Like it really shouldn't. When you think about what Monster Hunter is, because Monster Hunter is basically like a grind game. That's what Monster Hunter is. Like it always kind of has been that. And it's very like it's just action. It's just an action game. And yeah, you can go out and you can and you will do if you play the mainline Monster Hunter games. You will go out and you'll have a period where you just go out farming materials and avoiding the monsters and that sort of stuff. It's particularly if you've played from like World through Rise and Wilds. There's a reason to go out and not necessarily hunt and fight the monsters sometimes. But by and large, it's an action series. Like that's what it is. It's like it's hunt after hunt after hunt after hunt. You just fight the monster, kill the monster, fight the monster, whatever you're doing to get new armor and stuff like that. And they're not big story games. Like World had sort of a story, and Rise has got pretty much the same story, and then Wilds has got pretty much the same story again. With
it's always the same narrative from back to all.
Yeah, always. And to be fair, Monster Hunter Stories kind of does the same thing. It's usually oh, the monsters are all riled up because of something, and then you investigate and it's a big monster. Like, that's generally the storyline of every Monster Hunter game. Oh, what's up with the monsters? There's some weird corruption. It's caused by a big monster. And then, like, let's just kill them all and research them and work out what this big... Let's save all the ecosystem by killing everything we see.
It seems like a valid plan.
Yeah, stuffing its bits under a microscope and working out what this wibbly wobbly corruption is, and that's basically what the story is.
Does it turn out it's the even bigger monster behind the bigger monster?
Always, it's always the biggest monster, and then obviously you fight the end boss will be the biggest monster, but then nothing changes in the world state. Like, everybody celebrates and says we've done it, and then you spend the next 2,000 hours doing the same thing.
You're killing monsters and wearing them a bit, you know. You still got to make clothes at the end of the day.
Yeah, yep. I mean, it's fairly barbaric when you think about it, but we don't think about it because we call it researching, not murdering an entire ecosystem. No one cares that I killed like 76 Valhazarks in Monster Hunter Worlds. It's neither here nor there. There's still plenty of them to go around, and I needed new pants.
And they were lovely pants, Mick. I'll give you that. It was worth every moment.
Valhazark set is really nice, actually. But yeah, so like Stories 3 is the same thing, but like the reason I say it shouldn't work is not because it's got story, because the story, I like the story of Monster Hunter Stories 3. I do. I think it's pretty good. It's kind of like, it's almost like Monster Hunter. God bless Capcom and their cotton socks for trying to do stories sometimes, because I really think doesn't matter which Capcom game you take, the story's never the strong suit. Like, I can't think of a game off the top of my head where a Capcom game where the story is like, this is what I play it for. Like, fair enough, Resident Evil has got a great story, but it's like a box of frogs, and so is like Devil May Cry or anything that Capcom does. It's
always just there to prop up the action, isn't it?
Yeah, usually, and it's always whatever it starts as, it just shoots off in different times. They're not great narrative guys. And this is like that. This is the same sort of thing. It's a Capcom version of Monster Hunter meets Game of Thrones. You've got like a kingdom where, because the Monster Hunter Stories games always kind of center on the Rathalos as like the main, like, crux of the story.
Because even I know that one.
yeah, exactly. It's like me and Pikachu. Everyone knows like Rathalos, and like, because that's kind of like the flagship of all of it, really.
Yeah.
And so, like, it always centers on a Rathalos, and this one's no different. So, like, you play as like either the prince or princess of Azuria, and like at the beginning, there's an egg, and there's like a ceremony where they hatch an egg. I don't know why. And this particular ceremony, the egg hatches, and 2 Rathalos are born. One's got a horn this side, and one's got a horn that side. It's quite cool. And then, like, you end up raising 1 Rathalos, which is always called Ratha. So you start raising 1 Rathalos, and your mother goes sort of AWOL with the other one. And then, like, there's like a war brewing between the Kingdom of Azuria and the neighbours of like Vermeil. Because one of the characters is like a ward, where she's like the princess of Vermeil, and she's given herself over as a hostage to try and prevent war, but it happens kind of anyway. But it's not the best story, but in terms of like, as Monster Hunters go, it's quite good. It's like got a decent narrative. There's some fun characters. You've got like a little cadre of rangers who all ride different monsters, because the sort of central conceit of the Monster Hunter Stories series is that you ride the monsters rather than just hunt them and kill them. You also enslave them. So you ride them.
Do they still call them monsties?
Yes,
I was wondering that.
Unfortunately,
yes, come on, I love monsters.
That was one of the things that I just put me off the first time. It's all so stupid. It's like, here's my monster.
Yeah, I can't. It's just something I've come to accept, that they're just called Monsty. It's like I've also come to accept that usually there's one really cool Palico, and it's never your one. Like, there's like one of the rangers has got like this really, I can't remember the Palico's name now, but he's like got like bristling grey fur, and he dresses like a rogue, and he's got a really husky Palico voice, and he's really cool. And you've got this squeaky little twat bag called Rudy that just like
Just an annoying little bastard who follows you around.
You know the squeaky anime character that's like, let's go. It's that.
There always has to be one.
And he's just with you. So like it does that sort of thing, but it's turn-based. So that's the biggest sort of change overall, is that it's open world, and the open world is quite good in this. It's open world, but it's turn-based. So when you go into a fight, you'll line up, and you've generally got you and your monster, and then one of your ranger pals and their monster, versus usually one big monster, but sometimes you'll have a large monster and it'll have a couple of little ones with it, or you'll just get and it really does quite a good job of translating the Monster Hunter combat into a turn-based system. So there's 14 weapons in Monster Hunter now. They only use 6 of them in Twisted Reflection. In Monster Hunter, generally stories, they use 6 of the 14 weapons.
Okay.
So you only have I think it's longsword, greatsword, bow, gun lance, hammer, and hunting horn. And then you can equip 3 different weapons, and you can switch between them when you're in a fight. So you've got.
Is it like a rock paper scissors-esque situation?
So the rock paper scissors bit is in. There's a special attack that the monster will do, where it's either speed, strength, or technical.
Okay. And
so you have to pick. So strength beats. So speed beats strength. Strength beats technical. Technical beats speed. But you don't always know what the monster's going to do. Some of it's pot luck. And if you win the head-to-head, you do all the damage. And if you draw, you both take a bit. It works like that. And then there's all these other setups, like if you stagger the monster, you can get 3 hits in it. If you knock it down, you get to do a synchronized attack where all of you do one big attack at the same time. And then you've got these crazy fucking anime attacks called kinship skills, where you level up a meter during the fight, and then when it fills up, you can ride your monster, and then when you attack, you do more damage. And when you do a kinship skill, you do this crazy anime thing. They're all fully animated, because the roster is massive. I don't know how many monsters are in. It's not as many as there are Pokemon, but I don't know how many monsters are in the entire series of Monster Hunter. But I'd say there's a big percentage of them are in this. Glavenus is in it, and then but this one, because it's new, has got stuff from Rise and Wilds. So Namiel's in it, and Goss Harag's in it now. There's
Garangolm in there?
I don't recall.
He's my big monkey man, living.
I can't. Oh, he's the big rock monkey, isn't he?
Yeah, he can charge up different elements.
Yeah, so it's got because it's got elder dragons. Some of the elder dragons are in there. So and some of the fights are really quite taxing. But then the idea is that you roam around the world, you do story missions and side quests. That's pretty straightforward, open world stuff. There's roaming monsters everywhere. Too many roaming monsters, in my opinion, because they're constantly just coming at you and starting shit. And you can do a little roar, and they'll run away. But after a couple of seconds, they just come back, and you can't really go far without one of them attacking you.
So that's taking the place of random battles on the map.
Yeah, and it mixes some high level ones are just there sometimes, and sometimes they'll be in the area, like in Wilds or World. They'll be in the area and they'll fuck off, and then another one will come in. But sometimes you'll have there'll be an Anjanath, and then you'll go over a hill and there's another Anjanath, and then you'll look to the left and there's a Rathalos, and then it's like that. It's so many monsters. I don't know how people do anything in this world, because
you can't just nip to the shops without getting mauled.
Yeah, you would just die every time you left your house. There's monsters fucking everywhere. But and because there's monsters everywhere, there's monster dens everywhere. So that's where you get your monsters. So you go into the dens. And I remember in Wings of Ruin, the dens were some of them were quite large. They were big cave systems, and they'd have multiple nests. So in this, there are cave systems that have that in it, but they are separate to den. They are specifically caves. So there's some story stuff in there. Sometimes worth going in for treasure and rare materials, because it does the same as the mainline game, where you hunt the monsters and you take all the bits back to town and craft armor, and it's got the same armor sets as you would see in the mainline game, like Chattacabra armor and all that sort of stuff. And it's the same, and it tends to do the same. So if you know what the affinity, elemental affinity on a certain armor set is in one game, it's the same here.
Right.
And like, it's basically translates everything that is Monster Hunter into this turn-based system. And then like you go into these dens, and then you'll find a nest. And sometimes there's a monster will be asleep there. Sometimes like your Palico will be saying to you, look, it's going to come back. Like if you need to get, quick. And then you go up to the nest and you can pick up an egg, and it will say like, oh, it's a Temnoceran or it's a bird wyvern, but it doesn't tell you what it is. And then like, some of them are special, they'll glow, and like you basically get one, sometimes you get two, and you've only got a certain amount of time before you've got to get out before mum comes back. So like you'll get out with the egg, and then when you get back to town, you can go to the stable and hatch them, and then you find out what you've got. And like it's a gotta catch them all situation where you want, because when you go out into the world, you'll take 8 with you, like on a wheel. And like because you need stuff like Toby Kadachi, you need to climb walls, whereas like Rathalos and stuff like that can fly.
So you're using their powers in various.
Yeah, Ludroth and Somnicanth are in it, and they swim. They're like swimming monsters. You've got some monsters that can breathe fire. You've got like Pika. What's his name? What's the guy with the poison one? I want to say Pikachu. It's not obviously.
No, yeah, you've got that in my head now. They said Pika.
Pookie. Yeah, they're like if you ride a Pookie, you can spit poison at monsters, and so you can kill the little monsters on the map before they become a threat. But the big monsters, you just start a fight. But yeah, it's really good. Like I really like the series anyway, and like from the point of view that this is a spin-off, I think they do a really good job of translating everything that is, because there's nothing in it that doesn't belong. Like everything is like, oh yeah, that's very Monster Hunter. Like even when you go into the town and you go to the blacksmith, it's just a standard Monster Hunter blacksmith who's like sitting in the middle of town, and it's like, and it it's got its silly like mini games, and it's got side quests where there's like a side quest, because you go to your characters in between big quests, and they'll all give you a similar side quest each time. Like there's a young kid there that'll give you a race, and I think it's the kid that does the racing, and he'll literally do a race. So you do like there's a course where you go and race your monster, and then like one of them likes you to go cave diving, one of them likes you to do like I can't remember now off the top of my head, but anyway, that's how the side quests work. And then you also find people in the world that need help, like they'll I've lost my monster, it's gone somewhere, so you go and find like general straightforward stuff. But it's just to me, it's a really interesting thing, because I always feel like it's something that shouldn't translate as well as it does, and like it's hard almost to describe it unless you play it. But if you go from something like playing Wilds to playing this, it doesn't even feel like, it's not even particularly jarring. You know what I mean? It should be jarring.
Because you're so used to so much of that universe.
But yeah, because so much of it translates so perfectly over, like the looting and the crafting, that's all the same. Like the materials you gather are all the same. Everything just works. But like in this, you'll see because like in generally the mainline one, you'll see a bug on a rock and you pick up the bug. Whereas in like Monster Hunter Stories, you'll see them, they'll be like flying around. And it just makes the world feel a little bit more alive. You still walk up to it and grab it like you can with the ones in like the main game. But yeah, it's just really fun. Like I really, really like the series anyway. And I really like I know the world is like, it's not really necessarily a coherent through line of the world. It's always generally in the same universe, but different, or in the same world, but maybe at different times. Or at least that's how
it's another continent somewhere.
Yeah, at least I understand it. There's always a fleet, and there's always a new world.
Yeah,
and it's all the technology is the same, and sometimes the characters are the same. But yes, it's just really good. Like it's a great. I would say like you want to say it's a great opportunity for somebody to get into this world but if you don't like Monster Hunter, you don't care about the world. So like it's like,
but it's still a difficult one though, because like I mean for me, I don't really get Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter isn't a game for me. Like I've played I've probably played like 10 hours of a couple of them, and then like I saw credits on one of them, and I know that seeing credits doesn't really mean that much in Monster Hunter. But I was like,
I mean, it's a prologue
tutorial.
Yeah. I mean, it's the prologue's over,
yeah. But like it made me feel like I'd done a decent amount. Whereas Stories is like very much my kind of game. It's like basically a JRPG. It's got turn-based combat, all that sort of stuff. So like, I'm excited for this. And yeah, I really like the last one. I just didn't really get enough time to play it. Like I didn't sink into it. Whereas this one, I'm planning on like, I want this to be something I play and have ready for like, you know, potentially end of the year chats and stuff as well. Because like, I mean, you gave it a high score for one thing, and I just think it's my sort of thing. So I mean, I'm looking forward to it. What is it in terms of like, compared to the last game, what are the big like improvements for 3, or the big changes or new bits, or is it sort of more of the same but better?
That's kind of it. Like, this has got more. So I can't remember if Wings of Ruin. So Wings of Ruin didn't have this. Like, it's bigger. Like, this is a bigger game, and I don't just mean like in terms of length. I mean like the scale is bigger, the open world is bigger. Like little things like in Wings of Ruin, you're in that, it's like a little village that you're in, and whereas this, you're like the prince or the princess, so you're in like the city, and you're very much at the crux of everything that's happening in the world. It introduces like the biomes are familiar but larger. Like the second biome you go to in Twisted Reflection is the ancient forest, which was really cool to be wandering around the ancient forest from Monster Hunter World again. But like, and it adds like little embellishments to the way the combat works, and like, so there's this thing called, I can't remember what it's called now, but it's like DNA splicing basically, where you can take abilities from one monster and put them into another monster, and that unlocks new skills or it unlocks new elemental stuff. So like you're sort of playing God with like genetics somehow with these monsters, and that's kind of expanded on. And then it also does a lot more with, like I said, like you've got this little group of like rangers who are like lifelong friends, and they've got all these side quests, and it's just like, it is more of the same, but it's a lot more of the same.
Yeah,
and
it just sounds grander scale.
Yeah, the scale just feels bigger, and like it to me, Wings of Ruin was, I mean, it's got its issues if you want to come at it from different ways. Like, it is quite kiddie, like they are quite kiddified, like they're very colourful and very, very bright, but this is like, this kind of steps everything up a notch. Like there's characters that not necessarily, like, I won't spoil anything, but not everybody survives this one. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, that's not a thing that happens in Monster Hunter generally. No, and so like this game feels like not necessarily more mature, but you can feel like Capcom have made an effort to tell a story this time that has stakes. And it's just on a bigger scale. And like, there's things like, I remember in Wings of Ruin, you have to elevate, you have to get to the point where you get Rathalos in order to unlock like flight, and that's quite a big deal. Whereas in this, you have Rathalos from the beginning, so you've got flight, you've got that, you've got to unlock other monsters to do other things, like I said, like climbing and swimming and that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's the main difference, is they just sort of put more in it, and it is like, I haven't got many complaints about Twisted Reflection, really. It's just a fun time, and sometimes the difficulty kind of spikes a bit. Some of the monsters have got this, like, when they've got this corruption, they'll go into like a different phase, and they did something similar with Wings of Ruin and the first one, but they'll go into like this phase where you've now got to smash certain body parts in order to break the corruption before it does a great big attack. And some of the monsters are just like, fucking hell, like Magnum Arlo's in it quite early, and he's just got like a one of his attacks just hits all of you, and it can just wipe you if you're not quite full health. Or
so it is true to the other games then.
Sure. And exactly. So when you've got a monster like Magnum Arlo, and you already know it's going to be a bitch, but and then it is. But then, like, a little bit of modification of tactics, you've got a lot of options to try different things and change things around. And generally speaking, like, it's not a difficult game, but it just has these spikes sometimes if you're unprepared. But it does.
Is that forcing you towards the sort of grind end of things at that point, like you would do in a mainline game?
Yeah, it's Monster Hunter. You know, if you want better armor, you find out what you've got to craft, and you go and hunt that monster, and once
start
you can
praying for a 2% drop.
Yeah, and once you can move around the different biomes and hunt different monsters, and you've got more of a feel of it, it becomes very much like a Monster Hunter game. I mean, even the battles are quicker, generally speaking, because mainline Monster Hunter, some of those battles can run the distance.
40 minutes in, you're thinking, oh,
yeah.
sweet Jesus.
So it's not like that. It's generally a bit quicker, but the grind is there if you want it to be. If you want to increase your armor and get better equipment.
Okay.
The crafting's similar. You know, you find herbs, find honey, so you can make mega potion. Like everything's the same. Even the Magnum Arlo music, which is some of the best music in Monster Hunter, is there when you're in the Magnum Arlo fight. So it has those little touches that are just like chef's kiss.
It sounds like one I'll give a go just to go back into the universe for Monster Hunter again.
Oh,
see a bit different and give it another go. See if I can keep on this one for a while.
Yeah, it is fun. I enjoyed it anyway.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's one I've been waiting to, because I think you've been playing it for quite a while, and it's been one I've been waiting to be able to join the playing.
Yeah. Well, we did get code super early. We had code for a long time, and I was sort of playing it quite a lot at the beginning. Then I was playing it in and out of other things because we had code for so long. So like, it's really good. I definitely recommend it. Like if you've got a passive interest in that world, you know, even if you did like me and you joined in at like Worlds and Rise.
Is it arguably the best spin-off you've ever seen, Mick?
No, because we've got some spin-offs to talk about. It's a masterful segue. But so no, it's not the best spin-off I've ever seen. There is a spin-off that I played once and gave a 10 out of 10.
Ooh. Okay. What would that be? I'm trying to figure this out now.
Well,
it's probably impossible, but
it's a game that I didn't think would work because of how the main game is, and it's quite a big jump. But they capture everything so perfectly, which was Gears Tactics.
I knew it was that. I was about to guess it.
So Gears Tactics is, in my opinion, for me. And there's another one on here that obviously deserves its mention, but and this is just a list I've only written like 2 or 3 down because I know everybody's going to have like their favourites. But Gears Tactics is fucking superb. Like it's Gears, but it's XCOM.
I mean, it's a hell of a genre shift, isn't it?
It is a big genre shift, and at the same time, it captures every single thing from the Gears game. And translate it into a tactical shooter. I mean, it's got active reloads. It's got the cover mechanic. It's got the big guys in burly armor. It's got everything. It's got the scratch one grub shit. It's got a really good story as well.
It's the change of pace that I would find so a big jolt, I think, with that.
So this is what I was worried about when I went into Gears Tactics originally. I thought, how is this? And yet, considering it's like a turn-based tactics game, it is very much an XCOM. The pace is fucking great. Like I don't know, have any of you played Gears Tactics? I would imagine.
I haven't. I was excited to play it at launch, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to make this like sort of like my console launch game almost," because it was Series XS time, I think, wasn't it? Gears Tactics, and then I installed it and I never played it. So.
Yeah.
Oops.
Like the pace is really good. Like it's so fast because it does think. So what it does, which is quite clever, is it doesn't make you wait your turn and then the enemy has a turn and then you have a turn. So that's what's happening. That's the mechanics. But it plays things out at once, if that makes sense. So like you'll make a number of choices and then it's like hit the play button and it just goes. Not quite. So you make an attack and you'll do your thing. But while you're doing your thing, the enemy's doing their thing. So it waits for you to do it, but it doesn't make you feel like you've shot and then there's a minute while the game thinks and then it does its thing and then it's your turn to think. It's like if you do an Overwatch, like you'll put an Overwatch out, but the enemy will move, like this enemy's moving, then this enemy moves, and it all does it very fast. So it's still turn-based, but the illusion is that things are happening much quicker than a normal turn-based game. It's difficult to explain, and I'm doing it from memory because I haven't played it for a couple of years. But I can always remember that it was incredibly fast-paced for what it was, and it, like I said, it never makes you feel like now it's your. Do you know, like sometimes in XCOM, the AI would be thinking for a moment.
It'd take forever.
And plus, there was no fucking. So the worst thing about any turn-based tactics game, is the chance to hit mechanic, right?
Oh, percentage crits and
the chance to hit mechanic is absolutely bullshit. I don't care what context it's in. if I have a chance to hit that is 98% with a shotgun on a guy who's in the open and I miss because of that 2%, that's bullshit. That doesn't
sure.
So whereas this doesn't do that, there's no chance to hit. If you can hit them and they're not in cover, you'll just hit them. So it does away with that bullshit nonsense for a start, which was one of the best things about it.
I always think of like XCOM when you'd be stood there with a sniper rifle, literally sat on the guy's face.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Oh, missed it, son." You're like, "Really?" Like,
You just got cramp at the wrong moment, all right?
Like, just
things
slung it
happen.
up out the way.
But it even had got good objectives. It would have like multiple objectives per mission, and it would have like little side things, and like it would have like the ammo crates, and you'd have to break off to go and get ammo. Your characters, I don't remember if your characters have like particularly special abilities, but they do. I think they did different things or had different weapons with different situations, because there was a number of characters that you built into your like little group.
Little
It's a
team.
prequel, I believe it's a prequel, because it's Kate's dad, I think.
Okay.
It's the main character. I want to say his name's Gabe, but I might be wrong.
I'm going to nod and pretend like I know my Gears lore. Like,
Yeah.
Kate's correct.
Kate's the
Definitely.
main character from Gears 5.
Right. I know that one. I can do that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's her. I'm pretty sure it's her dad that's in this,
Right.
who's like Marcus's age. So it's that era. But I love anything Gears of War, because I think it's a great franchise, and the
You're
world
just,
really.
you're just into your big burly men.
I like big burly men in big burly boots.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just like the world. I think the lore's good. I think it's an interesting.
It is, to be fair, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I was going to say because obviously you've got a spin-off like that where they've taken that universe and completely turned the genre on its head. But then, because I was thinking about spin-offs when we were talking about it earlier, and some of my favourites, do we class Halo Reach and Halo ODST as spin-offs?
ODST, I would class as a spin-off. Reach, I wouldn't.
Because Reach isn't strictly mainline.
So Reach is a prequel.
Yeah.
And I'd say it's similar enough to Halo, whereas I think ODST, because you got different rules and
it had its own flavour, didn't it?
Yeah, and you're not an invincible dude in power armor and stuff. You're like because you're a drop trooper, aren't you?
Yeah, although you did play Invincible Dude in Armor a lot of the time in the flashbacks, and it had that kind of noir detective vibes when you were going around at night through the city and stuff.
Yeah, I think ODST is different enough that I would class it as a spin-off. I think Reach is a reach to call that a spin-off, because I think Reach. Reach is. It was, but I think Reach is pretty much. I mean, I class Reach as part of the main line because it's a prequel, and it follows directly into the beginning of Combat Evolved.
Yeah,
like the end of Reach does the Star Wars thing.
It was just me thinking about where the dividing line would be in terms of what becomes a spin-off and what doesn't.
So I think
you've got theoretically something like with the Assassin's Creed series, you've got a whole bunch of those that are like 2D side-on. I don't know what that bit of the series was called.
Chronicles China.
Russia, and other places. Yeah. But then you've also got something like
Liberty.
Freedom Cry.
Freedom Cry. See, Freedom Cry.
Which is almost another bit of AC.
Ubisoft muddy this water with stuff a lot. Because take Far Cry. I would call Blood Dragon a spin-off. But I would call New Dawn just
more Far Cry.
Just more Far Cry. Because
New Dawn. Primal?
See, Primal feels like it could be classed as a spin-off because it's so different to the main, and probably one of the best, I think.
It is, yeah.
So Primal I would definitely class as a spin-off.
I think the one, because I was doing some research on spin-offs preparing for the bonus pod, and personally I feel like I think you can classify stuff like those as spin-offs, and I get the reason that the rationale behind it. For me, I tend to think of it being something like Mario Kart, like Mario to Mario Kart, where it's a completely different genre.
Yeah.
And then
which in itself then becomes its own thing.
Yeah,
well, yeah,
because then like Mario Kart is a Mario spin-off, but it's a fucking it's its own franchise now, so it doesn't really feel like a spin-off, but it definitely still sort of.
Mario's a spin-off in the first place.
Yeah,
so it's a spin-off of a spin-off.
Something like Captain Toad would be a spin-off from 3D World, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because that was a small bunch of levels that then became its whole other game.
I mean, there are
possibly the greatest spin-off in my opinion, but
Well, there are some spin-offs that completely kind of surpass. I mean, so for example, like one of the biggest spin-offs that I think people forget it's a spin-off is World of Warcraft, because World of Warcraft is like it's been a global phenomenon for what, 15, 20 years, like probably 20 years, and like that spun off from Warcraft. Like that was Warcraft, and then it became the MMO. And like Apex Legends is a spin-off of Titanfall, which everybody forgets, and that massively surpassed what people.
There's some really big ones, isn't there? There's the Sims. The Sims is a spin-off of SimCity.
Of course,
like,
massive
Portal for Half-Life.
I forgot about Portal. How could I forget about Portal? Portal's fantastic. You forget that that's where it came from.
Yeah. Persona is a spin-off of a spin-off from what I was reading, which I didn't know. I knew it was a spin-off of SMT. Is it Shin Megami Tensei?
Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah.
Shin Megami Tensei.
But that's a spin-off of something else as well.
It's because they
and then of course
big
the biggest
things in their own right, isn't it? Since it's
some of them are massive. Like the biggest one, I think we can all agree on is Styx.
Really?
Styx spun off of Orcs and Men, didn't it? So like, I think I like the ones that you don't necessarily know, and I can't. I'm setting that up like I've got an example, and I haven't. But but there are spin-offs that you forget completely were spin-offs, and like
Styx,
yeah. And sometimes it'll be
that's because everyone forgot Styx.
And sometimes it'll be a connection that's just like the universe. So like, I'm trying to think. Recently,
Avowed last year was one like that.
Was that a spin?
Oh yeah,
because that's a spin-off of Pillars of Eternity.
Of course, it's the same universe of Pillars of Eternity. Yeah.
I just learned that I'm completely screwed for the quiz afterwards. Brilliant.
The quiz is
going to steer us away from the ones in the questions as well.
I mean, so there's also like Uncharted Lost Legacy. Like I think that's classed as a spin-off, and it is different characters. It's not Drake and Sully, because you play as Chloe Fraser and the South African lass whose name is Nadine. Yeah.
That's it.
And it's similar enough to the Uncharted. It's brilliant as well, but it's similar enough to the Uncharted games that it kind of could slot in, like it's in the collection. If you buy, it's because there's a Nathan Drake collection, or you can just buy the Uncharted collection as like a box set thing now, and it's in there. It's just part of because there was an Uncharted spin-off on the Vita, which was like
Golden Abyss.
Golden Abyss. Yeah.
No, not Golden Abyss. I'm thinking.
The other one.
There's a card collection.
Card game one.
There's an Uncharted card game, TCG, and I can't remember now what it's called.
No idea.
Now I want to know. I Google something every time we do a podcast because I'm never prepared. But yeah, that is like a real spin-off. So like Uncharted's had more than you would think.
Yeah. The conversation of spin-offs has been interesting because I started this thing when Mick said, because I didn't come prepared, I was just like, I'll talk about spin-offs or whatever. I came prepared as I was thinking, and Mick said, "Oh, I've given a spin-off a 10 out of 10," and I thought of the one that I would say for that. And now, because of people talking about what counts as spin-offs, I'm up to like 5 10 out of 10s, I think. Because I'm like, well, Mario Kart counts, and I did the like Mario Kart 8 full collection way back when. I did the Portal collection on Switch. I gave that a 10, so that would count. Persona. I think there's at least one of them. But my most famous spin-off, 10 out of 10, that the community love is New Pokemon Snap, obviously, which is a perfect game. Not all 10 out of 10s are perfect games, but that one is, and we all agree.
Pokemon's had some fucking spin-offs, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
I mean,
Pokemon's a series built on spin-offs.
I mean, is it Arceus technically?
Probably, yes. I would say that the Legends games are spin-off. I was thinking that there's a chance that Pokemon spin-offs came up in the bonus pod, so I was trying to figure out if I could almost list like all of them, and I won't do that until there's
way too many. I gave up counting them. In fact, I had to put a caveat in the end that I'm not going to count like mobile games for one of the categories because with Pokemon, it was
of course, many of them. That will always be a thing. Pokemon Go, that's a spin-off.
I haven't even considered mobile spin-offs. I mean, that's like Destiny's currently got a massive mobile spin-off that's doing better than Destiny 2.
That's a wild thought.
I mean, Diablo Immortal, I don't know whether you even count that as a I mean, it's a mobile version and it's its own game. But I wonder if it's close enough that it's not really a spin-off. It's just another Diablo. Because you can play it on PC, but it's so...
Is that the one that had the massive laughable launch at the time?
Yeah.
They're like, here's what everyone wants. Here's Diablo Mobile.
Yeah, everybody was expecting Diablo 4, and then they went, Diablo Immortal on mobile, and some guy asked if it was an April Fool's joke. He stood up in the crowd and said, is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke? Because it was like, who fucking wants this? But it's done, it's done numbers, so...
The mobile market's still massive, more than we would think it would be, isn't it?
But then Hearthstone is also another Warcraft spin-off.
Spin-off of a spin-off of a spin-off.
We're just going
layers upon layers.
I'm waiting for them to confirm the rumours I've heard. I don't think it's been confirmed that there's a StarCraft FPS coming from, I want to say Starbreeze, but that might just be my brain putting words together. But I'm sure there's
stars in things.
I'm sure there's a StarCraft FPS. I think it might end up being a prequel.
Which would probably be cool.
A spin-off you're just hoping for now then?
No, I've definitely heard the rumor. I just don't know if it's a confirmed thing or if it's one of those somebody who used to be involved in StarCraft is working on something they haven't announced yet, and we assume it's going to be StarCraft related or something.
Yeah,
like someone's let something slip. Or
I wonder how many series there are that have so many more spin-offs than main games, because there are so I can think of even off the top of my head with things like even smaller things as well. Like Shovel Knight has like 3 or 4 spin-off games that are, and it's just one game, and Meat Boy has multiple stuff like that.
You could go deeper with some things because, you could almost say that Control is a spin-off of Alan Wake, and
it just took a while to realise at some point.
Because they are a connected universe. And isn't Life is Strange a spin-off of something, or there's a spin-off from Life is Strange? I don't know why that's ringing a bell in my head.
Kieran,
I'm sure there is something. I can't think what it is. There was that short one that was set in the same universe, the Adventures of Captain. Whatever it was.
The little kid.
Oh, like Yakuza. You've just reminded me of Yakuza. That's a game that just keeps.
So that's got Judgment, which I would class as a spin-off. Yeah,
for sure. And then Pirate Yakuza is probably one of them too. And was there a zombie one? Was there a zombie one once?
Yeah, there was, and there's one set in feudal Japan as well, isn't there?
Yeah, sounds right. Sounds like the sort of insane bullshit they do, doesn't it?
Because Kojima does it a lot as well. Kojima, I'm sure that there's stuff that connects like Kojima's worlds and there's some that almost make the base series a bit pointless as well. I think Forza Horizon, since that came out. Does anyone really care that much about?
Don't do this.
Forza?
Nobody cares. You're right, Kieran.
What's coming this year? Is that another? That's another Horizon, isn't it?
That's Horizon 6. Yeah.
See, I think motorsports.
It is. I mean, even I've got to admit it's outgrown the motorsport series.
Hang on a second. The developers of motorsport
was Turn 10.
Turn 10. The developers of Horizon is Playground.
Playground
Games. Yeah.
Isn't Playground also doing Fable?
Yeah. That's why you're going to break so many billboards in Fable. What's going to happen in the next trailer?
Fable turns into a fucking Forza Horizon spin-off.
Yeah. Find carts hidden in barns and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So, because that's a Fable spin-off. There was a Fable spin-off now we're talking.
You had the pub game,
the
Journey.
I spent way too many hours playing those.
The VR one. It was a VR. There was a VR one.
Oh, yeah, that was a thing.
You
Connect one.
Yeah, is that Journey?
The Journey with the horse.
And there was a little cartoony one. Was it Fable? Not Fable Legends. It was Fable. My kids used to play it. It had Fable Heroes. Thank you, Oscar. It's Fable Heroes.
Saved by the kid in the other room.
From the other room, yeah. The kids used to play Fable Heroes, and that had like it had the heroes like Thunder and Scarlet Robe and all that. Jack of
oh yeah.
What's his name? Jack.
I'm just glad we've meandered away from the Forza chat. Thank fuck for that. Escape that one.
Well,
another one as well that I think of, like, where I would never play like the base series, but I've enjoyed the games. The spin-off that I played was Nier, or Nier Automata specifically.
Was that a spin-off of the game Nier, or was there?
No, it's a spin-off of Nier. Was a spin-off of Drakengard.
Drakengard, wasn't it? Yeah.
So somebody, I don't know who, I probably Adam, but correct me. Somebody bought Nier Automata the other day because it appeared in our Steam library.
Chucked it in the group.
I tried to play it on Xbox years ago, and I could. So what happened was, so in Nier Automata, if you die any time during the prologue, you have to start the prologue again.
Yeah, because there's no save point until so far in, is there?
That's what I did, and I fucked up on the boss bit and died twice, and I had to start again. And I was like, life's too short for this shit. So I just never played it again. And then I keep looking at it and seeing that it's still like 40 quid on PlayStation or whatever. So I've never bought it. And I noticed it in the Steam library the other day, so I downloaded it. Because the only thing I can remember is the way 2B climbs ladders. Which
because of course you remember that.
So like that's pretty much it. And obviously the world itself is very good.
Yeah.
Because I've watched people play it and I've seen stuff. So I downloaded it. So thanks very much. You bought me.
No worries. I did it purely on the basis that I hadn't seen it cheap in like an absolute age. It was always, like you say, about 40 quid. And I think I ended up getting it for like 6 quid. I was like, yeah, while it's there, grab it.
Yeah. That's why I own The Witcher 3 on every platform, because every time
it comes up cheap.
Every time it's on sale as a complete edition for 7 quid, I buy it regardless of what platform.
Yeah, just in case you fancy it on that controller that day.
I own 4 copies of it on 4 different systems.
With as we have been veering away from spin-offs slightly here, surely most of the Mario games now are all spin-offs of Mario.
Yeah, definitely.
Even like saying like the Yoshi platform games or the Luigi's Mansion series, they're all just Mario spin-offs.
Yeah, there is like Mario Maker, Mario Paint. Like you can go into so many different. Like if you have Mario in the middle and do a chart of all the spin-offs, it goes in every fucking direction you could imagine. Like it would
covering
it would take forever. Yeah,
there's not many genres.
Sports, all the sports ones, fucking. Millions of them.
Yeah, there's not many genres Mario hasn't.
The first one I can remember playing as a spin-off would have been, was it Alleyway on the Game Boy, where you've got it's like a block breaker as far as it goes, little paddle at the bottom, break the blocks, but it's Mario that's driving it. So that's got to be a Mario spin-off, surely.
I think there's only one IP that's got its fingers in more genre pies than Mario, or almost. There's probably not as many, but almost as many, and that's like Warhammer. Because there's a Warhammer game of everything. Like I always joke that the only thing they haven't done yet is like a dating sim. But I'm sure
but it's coming.
But I don't know if the Mario's done a dating sim yet either. So whether
they've done the sports genre via Blood Bowl, haven't they?
Well, they've done driving, they've done first-person shooters, and
they've done driving.
Yeah, they've done Speed Freaks is like Orc Racer.
Okay.
It's like Destruct Derby.
If in doubt, just slap an orc on it, Warhammer. Job
done. It's really fun. And like there's not many genres they haven't done. They've done like turn-based tactics and survival games. I mean, you can't really call any of them spin-offs because there was no like.
Yeah, it's kind of like saying Star Wars games are spin-offs, like, which sort of feels right and sort of doesn't at the same time.
Well, we mentioned The Witcher and didn't mention Gwent. Like that's
true. Yeah.
Gwent was like quite a big spin-off, and there was another Witcher game that was like a top-down. It wasn't a tactics game, but it was like I can't remember what it's called. It was The Witcher. It didn't have a Witcher in it. It was set in the universe, but it was like the political.
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, I can't remember anything about.
Didn't it just get a Reigns game as well?
Yeah,
it just got Reigns.
Oh, yeah, it did. Reigns.
See, what is Reigns? Because I saw Reigns The Witcher, and I'm like, what is Reigns? For some reason, this is something that's missed.
It's like a mobile. It was originally a mobile game, but it's like a sort of like it's sort of like a management game, but where you just play it like Tinder. So you like either swipe right or left to make decisions, basically, and like it'll make different sort of like, you know, meters go up and down. Like you'll like in the original ones, it'll be like this will get you more money, but your people will be unhappy and that sort of thing. But it's just making like binary decisions left and right, pretty much.
Is this something where there's like a Walking Dead version or something? But I presume there's Reign's other things.
I think there are quite a few Reign spin-offs. Ooh,
Game of
Thrones. Go back
Thrones.
to it. Yeah,
there's
a game.
I've never heard of this like at all, because like
it's very compelling and very easy to play, but like, and you can see why they skin it to sort of other things because it works for that. You'd probably enjoy it, but like, I mean, it's not something where it takes like hours of your life necessarily. Like, you just have more and more runs, and eventually you sort of like discover new little bits as you sort of veer down different paths, just sort of in a fun narrative way.
This sounds like 20 minutes in bed at night just before you drop off, just have a quick blast and continue through.
For sure. I feel like I've not played it in like 10 years, but probably that. I don't know. Maybe the newer ones are totally different and I'm very outdated.
So, yeah, I've exhausted my list of spin-offs that I wanted to talk about.
We've talked about fucking loads of them because basically every game's a spin-off. It turns
every
out.
game's a spin-off of something, yeah.
I mean, you've not chucked Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts in there, though, have you?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Absolutely.
Well, is that a spin-off or is that just the next game in that series?
That's a difficult one to say, yeah.
Feels like a spin-off.
I think
it's not a platformer, like really, you know. So
I think it's a slightly different genre, and I don't think you would count it as part of the main series.
Not main.
And they didn't call it. They didn't call it 3E. So
3E,
yeah.
It's like there's some games, there's some franchises that I and they probably have maybe spin-offs I don't know about. But you would expect, like something like Ratchet and Clank, you would expect to have a bazillion spin-offs.
Secret Agent Clank,
but instead
that was one of them.
That was the PSP one.
Yeah. Secret Agent Clank, where you just play as Clank.
See, this is the thing. If you start plumbing if you start plumbing PSP and Vita and like.
That's the way to find them.
That's when you'll find the spin-off games that were like not because like God of War had games like Chains of Olympus that was only on PSP. There were a number like the Vita, like we said about Golden Abyss and Fight for Fortune. That was the card game, the Uncharted card game. That was only on Vita.
Have you just pulled out your ass? Did you look it up?
No, I googled it earlier. I've been waiting for it.
I was impressed though.
But yeah, so like some things you would expect them to have dozens of spin-offs, and they don't necessarily. But like, then you could like cross the line into like I'd mentioned like Warhammer, and then you mentioned Star Wars and like James Bond, and like they're not spin-offs, but
they're just part of that franchise on a grand scale. Yeah.
But because they sort of go off in such different ways, they sort of have that similar feel of spin-offs, I guess, don't they? Because like a Star Wars like 2D platformer on the SNES isn't going to feel the same as like Outlaws
or Pod Racing
or Galactic Racer or whatever the new one is.
Yeah.
Although I think you could probably have a spin-off if it's based like the Old Republic. Star Wars: The Old Republic is set in the world of Knights of the Old period of Knights of the Old Republic, which is not any more canon Star Wars. So because it's extended universe stuff, and like that particular era, I don't know enough about the deep nerd Star Wars lore to know whether the Old Republic stuff existed before Knights of the Old Republic. I don't know if they were extended novels and graphic novels and comic books.
Probably, but we'll never know.
But so I don't know if Knights of the Old Republic then spun off into the Old Republic. Because there was another Star Wars MMO once, wasn't there? It was something else. Was it? I want to say like.
I think so, but I have no idea.
Galaxy.
There was a Galaxy something, yeah. I think
Star Wars Galaxies was a thing.
Star Wars Galaxies was probably what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's.
Are there any games that you haven't seen a spin-off of yet that you'd want to see one from?
Yes, but now
just
you've asked
everyone
me,
on the spot.
I think the answer to that's probably no, because I just think that if I say one, it will have a spin-off. And then I don't think I mean,
Because it
I
feels
don't
like
think
everything you mentioned does have at least one somewhere, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It feels
yeah.
harder to actually name one that hasn't got any.
100%. Like, I don't know what I would go for. I don't know if there's been any Astrobot spin-offs because that's kind of new and they've all been platformers. But is the one that's a built-in demo sort of a spin-off, or are they all spin-offs of the one that was a VR game? Like, maybe.
I mean,
don't know.
that's the argument, that they're all spin-offs from that.
Yeah, so I can't come up with anything because every game ever has had a spin-off.
I put it out there like I've got one. I very much haven't.
No,
Yeah.
there's some games.
I'd like a eugenics spin-off. That's only just
Already.
released. There's one game. Yeah, make that into a, I don't know, block puzzler, and I'll play it.
Fair enough.
I mean, I can't even take Isaac for that because you've already got Legend of Bumbo, which is a spin-off.
Yeah.
So that's
Legend of Bumbo.
It was. I've not played it. So Bumbo's a character from Isaac who's a little blob dude who will take all your money, and it's turn-based in like a weird pseudo 3D, almost like a. I'm trying to think of what a good example for this one. It looks like you've got cardboard sheets moving backwards and forwards in front of each other, like it's all made out of like corrugated cardboard, which ties in beautifully for me. And it's a turn-based game rather than being like a top-down twin-stick shooter, essentially. And it's taking that character and just run with it. So,
I was going to say XCOM. I'd like to see a first-person shooter of XCOM, but they did that in a spin-off. They did
do that.
and that's the thing, yeah.
XCOM Bureau something.
Yeah, the Bureau.
I can't even remember what the full game was. It was a bit shit.
The Bureau XCOM Declassified.
Declassified. That was it. Yeah. So no,
Kieran's just there, like fucking get it.
Everything I think of, I'm like, I wouldn't mind an RPG. Oh no, they've done that. I wouldn't mind a first-person shooter. No, they've done that. I think there's nothing new under the sun, is there? Really, like everything is a version of everything else. Ultimately, which we're like, this podcast is a version of the bonus podcast, which we're going to go and record in a minute which was a very clumsy segue, but what can I say? It's been
our very own spin-off coming very soon.
Well, the thing is, I'm very mindful that the bonus pod this week for the Patreon listeners is a spin-off quiz, and if we discuss all of them, Kieran's going to ask questions, and we're going to go, well, we just spoke about that, so we know.
At least we'll have a chance of getting the answers.
Well,
yeah, we do have a better chance. It's a good job we had this discussion. How many questions have we ruined, Kieran?
Mick just got one which I thought was a deep cut.
And that'll be the extra.
I've got general knowledge locked away in the hindbrain that will just every now and again just pop out from nowhere. I have no control over it whatsoever. There's stuff in here that I've forgotten that I know. But on that note, we are going to go away now. We're going to go and record the bonus pod, which is for the Patreons. So this will go out on a Monday. Bonus pod goes out on a Wednesday. Generally, it's like a quiz, or what did we do last week? Oh, we did the Pokemon quiz last week, where we tested Lyle's frankly encyclopedic knowledge of Pokemon.
Yeah, I was a bit sad that I didn't do better, which is worrying in its own.
Didn't get any of them wrong.
I don't think I got a couple, and I was like, I should have known that. I should know by very basic descriptions all of the 1,025 Pokemon. I am a letdown to myself and my family.
Yeah, I don't know the metric of it, so I don't. Like, some of them to me seemed really obscure, and you were like, "Oh, it's that," and then I was like, "Okay, maybe that wasn't obscure." And then there one like the Fennec. I was like, "I know this," and it took a while to get.
Oh
there.
Yeah, for sure.
So go listen to that if you want. It's a paid tier. It's a couple of quid. It supports us. It helps us. Really, we just want more people to watch what we do. And
come and hang out,
you all,
and comment, and join the Discord and get involved and stuff. Or not, or don't. It's up to you. This is free, so if you made it this far for free, cheers. Maybe give it a like or drop a comment and tell us we're wrong, tell us we're right, remind us of some spin-offs that we forgot.
And then we'll say, oh, they were all in the bonus pod.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. You missed it. You should have come to the bonus pod. Or they were all locked in my hindbrain, which we've already discussed.
Yeah.
Links.
The hindbrain.
The hindbrain, yeah. Anyway. That's it. That's a pod. I've been Mick Fraser. He's been Steve Chambers. He's been Lyle Pendle. Got it right twice in a row. And he's been Kieran Singh. And you guys have been lovely. Bye-bye.
See you later.
See you soon.
Bye.